Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nothing But Net. Brought
Oh,
to you
my
by the
fault, man.
Sideline Junkies.
My fault. I was waiting for the intro to finish. My bad.
You good, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, cool. Well, hold on. Let me get my pipes. Me. Around the association in 30 minutes.
Is he on delay? All right, we're going to start talking. Around association in 30 minutes. From the perspective of two. Now tonight we got three old head basketball fans. And with that being said, that's C. Perry II. Hopefully he comes back and he's not frozen. I'm the Midnight Rider. And the guy in the bottom half of the thing, new to our show, friend and family of the network, the big guy KG. And with that being said, what's going on? Oh man, we got a 4-man show. Oh man, hold on. We got another one. So like DJ Khaled.
Another. He got to get connected first.
Yeah, so it looks like the way the association is going, we're coming down the stretch run of everything that's supposed to be. We got an interesting conversation. I'm hoping Perry can get back in because I really want to get with him on this NBA Europe. We got the play-in landscape, which is going to be interesting. It looks like he's got a couple of tweets from Shams on the he's got a few things that he wants us to get to. Let's try to do this. Let me see if I can start here. All right. This is the morning of. Oh, he must have it as an overlay. There it is. The race to the 6th seed and the play-in. So right now, let me see if I get. Can you pull us off the screen, KG?
You said pull us off?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
There
What do you
goes.
say off?
Hold on. Let's add C. Perry. Got moving pieces tonight, baby. There we go. Let's add to the stage.
Plenty of.
And maybe he has the standing somewhere else. Yeah, he's totally lagging tonight. What's up, man?
Homie.
All right. You tell me, because we started with the 6th seed. Did you have a graph for this?
Actually, I do not. But yeah, actually, I do not. Okay. But hold on. But while we're at it, let's see. Let me know if there's 4 of us showing.
It's 4 of us showing. We playing 4 corners. We're gone old school North Carolina. Dean Smith back in the day with Johnny Black running the point.
Good old stall ball.
Right. We still lagging, huh?
Well, you just talk and we'll catch you. We'll do everything else. Come on, you can talk. All right. Hey, hop back out and hop back in, man. All right, that's real quick. Josh,
all right, we'll do. Yep. Yeah, continue conversation.
All right, hey Josh, you still have your thing with the standings?
Say it again.
You still have your thing with the standings, and I'm sorry. Let me give you the proper introduction. Joining us for his debut on Nothing But Net, the man from Highly Opinionated, the most highly opinionated man I know, the only guy that can get Lee Ikes riled up over any discussion. They can talk about peanut butter sandwiches and what goes on first, and it'll become a heated argument. My man Josh of Highly Opinionated, I saw an episode drop. Do you want to give a preview of that first before you go on?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me. Yes, sir. We dropped the latest episode of Highly Opinionated. We had the great Kyle Wise on. Played basketball at Calvert Hall College High School. Played at St. Mary's College for college basketball. Made it to the NCAA tournament a couple times. So Hopefully you guys liked that episode. Kyle was tremendous. JG was great. I was great. You feel me? I don't want to brag on myself. I thought I was good. I shouldn't say great. I thought I was good. Shout out to Ross. You feel me? So we're doing good things over there. We just want to keep getting better and better. Keep getting the guest list, up there. Try and ride with what you guys doing over here at Sideline Chunky Podcast Network, man. So I learn from the best.
Nah, we all just make an iron sharpen iron, baby. So I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna try to jump right into this. The standings that we have, it looks like from 5 to 10 in the Eastern Conference, there's 3 games separating the 5th spot from the 10th spot. I know the graphic says 6, but we might as well go up and take care of that half a game lead that the Hawks got too. Even though the Hawks are one of the hottest teams in basketball right now, I think they are. I'm gonna say 18 of the last 20 or something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood. So they just been winning ball games, shooting up the standings. I think they moved themselves up to 5. It looks like at the 6th spot we got Toronto 42 and 33, 12 and a half games back out of 1st, half game out of 5th. Philly's 41 and 34, 13 and a half. They probably get a bunning tonight because they play the Wizards. Orlando is 40 and 35, so they're 14 and a half back. Miami's 40 and 36, they're 15 back. Charlotte's 40 and 36, and they're 15 back. And then there's this huge ass chasm, and then there's the Milwaukee Bucks. So the way this has been playing out, teams have kind of played themselves into position just to make this interesting. I didn't think the East was going to be this tight, but when the Hawks make their run, there it goes. Any thoughts, Josh, on this? Basically, this 5 through 10 race that we got going on for the last 2 weeks of the season?
Yeah, last 2 weeks of the NBA season. As you kindly said, the Philadelphia 76ers are playing the Washington Wizards. I think the Sixers will win that game. The Sixers want to win. The Wizards want to lose. I know the Atlanta Hawks are the 5 seed at 43 and 33 right now. I know Philly is 41 and 34. I think Philadelphia ends up getting that 5 seed.
Really?
I think they find a way to yes, sir. I think they find a way to get that 5 seed. You got Joel Embiid, you got Tyrese Maxey, you got a healthy Paul George. Me and my buddy, we were just talking about it. I think the suspension for Paul George actually did him wonders, because as you get older in the season, you start playing the regular season starts to become playoff games.
Right.
So again, he got suspended. Obviously, that's not detriment to the team, but it's a benefit for him because he'll be his healthiest when they need him to play his best. You got rookie sensation at VJ Edgecombe, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. The only thing about the Philadelphia 76ers we've been talking about for years is just health. I think they'll be healthy enough to get that 5 seed or at worst the 6 seed. So I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers will be in the play-in.
KG.
Well, I was telling Perry before we got on, I really love what the Hornets are doing. And to only be 3 games out of that 5th spot, I'm not sure how many games they got left. But I think if they keep playing well, they'll move up. I can't share the joy of the Sixers because the Sixers they've been a big letdown for the last 7-8 years. And I just don't really share the joy. I love the Orlando kind of moving forward with that young nucleus they have. And Miami's just doing Miami things, As long as they get to the show, that's pretty much all they'll do. But I think this is the first time in the play-in era that all teams in the East are from 1 to 10 are above 500. Absolutely. I don't think we've had it like that because I know the Bulls have been below 500 for the longest.
I was just getting ready to say the reason why is because the Chicago Bulls aren't there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Bulls are 20.
Why we not there?
29 and 46. So, KG, if you don't mind me asking, I do got a little pushback. You said something about the Magic and that youth movement. You don't think the Magic have underachieved this season? They traded 5 first-round picks for Desmond Bane. They were actually in a position worse than what they were last year. They were the 7th seed last year. They're the 8th seed this year. So for me, I'm just saying, like, if you trade 5 first-round picks for a guy, shouldn't that improve your situation? You traded 4 picks and a pick swap to get Desmond Bain, right? You shouldn't be a
Yeah, it
position
should,
lower
but
than what you were last year, right?
here's the problem with that. When you're 3-7 in your last 10, that's where it lies. But now at 3-7, they're only a game out of that 7th spot. They're only a game behind. What is that? 2.5 games on the 5th.
No, my bad, C. Perry. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm gonna just say this, and I'll give you the floor. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. But you know, KG, you're an OG. I love you, bro. I watch you every time I get the chance to watch you. I love you because you love numbers. You love stats. You know, stats are very misleading. The Orlando Magic, they were struggling before these first 10 games even happened, brother. And you know that. So my point is that they could be 3-7 in their last 10 games. They could be 1-9, 2, and they could have been 10-0. They were a very disappointing team for what they were supposed to be. I thought the Orlando Magic would be in this position of trying to be in the play-in. I thought when you go out and you trade 5 picks for a guy, you should be in the playoffs, not the play-in, right?
I gotta agree with Josh here. Okay, they have underachieved this year, even with the trade for Desmond Bain. Remember, they had to deal with injuries at the beginning of the season. They've recovered. They found their steps. However, this was a team that was projected to be one of the top 4 teams in the in the conference, and they haven't been there. 1, 2. You saw the growth of the Toronto Raptors all season. Okay, where the Toronto Raptors have been consistently anywhere between 4 to 7 the entire season. So you've seen their growth, and the biggest growth for them all right now. Look what team is not currently in that 6 to 10 slot. That being the Atlanta Hawks, who've been one of the hottest teams in the NBA for the second half of the season. All right. So Orlando has majorly underachieved. And what you were saying about Philly, look, to me, do I trust Philly to get out of the first round? No, I don't. But I trust Philly with giving somebody in the top 3 slots some headaches. All right. Honestly, I don't think Philly's going to move out of it. Right now, they're currently at 7. All right. I don't see them moving out of the 7 slot. All right. Do I see Charlotte being the biggest surprise? Do I see them with the possibility of jumping up? Yup. Charles Lee has this young team focused and playing well. All right. A LaMelo Ball playing within control. Okay. Kai Knipple, who's really, let's be real, he's really the centerpiece of this team. Okay. There's, like I said, a lot of good pieces there, and you're gonna see their growth. And I would not be surprised whether they stay at 10 or jump to 8 or 7. I wouldn't be surprised to see them getting out of the play-in and being and playing and and being the 8th seed or even the 7th seed.
All right, so real quick, who's the 4 that's in the play-in? If we can go Josh, KG, C. Perry, who's your 4 that's going to actually just be in the play-in?
Atlanta, my 4 teams in the play-in: Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, Charlotte.
All right, so that means you got Philly jumping up and Atlanta falling back. All right, KG, you got yours?
Yeah, I'll go with Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, and I'll say the Raptors.
All right, so you got Philly jumping up to the 6. All right, Perry.
I got it staying as is with the 4 teams. The positioning might change, but those 4 teams are still going to be Philly, Orlando, Miami, and Charlotte.
Yeah, I think Miami falls to 10. I think Orlando falls to 8. I mean, to 9. Charlotte jumps to 7. and Philly is 8. I think I just think we move the chairs around the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna get too much of that because, I mean, the only one that's really gonna fall back is Toronto, and I don't know if they're gonna fall back. Atlanta's just been too hot. Atlanta's played well since no offense, since they moved Trae Young. So
Yeah.
that's the big difference there. You got a thing for the West Conference too, or no?
No. Yeah, look. I don't want to say this to those that jock the Western Conference, but damn the Western Conference. Okay, I'm sorry. This year, the East, top to bottom, has been tougher. Okay, with the Western Conference, once again, it's a little bit top heavy, and then there's a then there's a drop off. All right. I mean, hell, Golden State Warriors are going to be in the play-in. Excuse me?
Miami's in the play-in. Excuse me? Like what? Like, sir, I love CP. You know I love you, baby. You know, listen, let me just say it like this. The Clippers, the Suns at 42 and 34 is better than any team in the Eastern Conference play-in. The Clippers at the 8th seed is better than any team in the Eastern Conference play-in.
Look, I'll give it to you with the Clippers. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll give it to you with the Clippers, and trust me, I've been giving the Phoenix Suns dap, especially with their new coach and the way he's running the system there. Yes, I've been giving him mad dap. Okay, for for the job that he's done there. All right, but they would still be a play-in. They would still by the end of the season be a play-in in the Eastern Conference. I'm sorry.
The Phoenix Suns not better than the Atlanta Hawks?
No, sorry. They're not. I
like that. All right.
Yeah,
let's get to the next one. And this is something significant. We talked about this last week. I made a statement that if anything on the agenda for the NBA dealing with expansion or NBA Europe, everything's going to pass unanimously because this is a super cash grab for the owners.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make significant money off of this venture. Do you want me to go to the tabs or want me to get everybody's thoughts real quick?
Go to the tabs, man. Go to the tabs.
All right. So the first tab, and you got to talk us through this. Go ahead.
Okay, now this is from the NBA Deputy Commissioner and proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Mark Tatum. Mark was talking about how they received significant interest in investors or teams that want to be a part of this new venture with NBA Europe. Okay, and the interest is coming from investors that want to be new owners and investors, well, not investors, but currently established teams in EuroLeague.
Yep.
All right, go to the next slide.
I got you.
Okay. Now there was a deadline of midnight April 1st for investors to submit their non-binding bids, their interests. There was over 120 investment groups expressing interest in getting teams in NBA EuroLeague, with the proposed cost for these teams being anywhere from $500 million to $1 billion. Right. And these bids are pretty much being treated as a license fee that represents the buy-in into the league. And like I just said, individuals, investment firms, and existing teams from EuroLeague. Those are the ones that are interested in trying to get in. Next slide.
My bad.
All right. Yeah, that one's an important. Okay, so NBA and FIBA are planning to structure the new league with 14 to 16 teams, with 10 to 12 of these teams being permanent fixtures, and the others being open slots based on performance in FIBA leagues. Now, what that means is kind of similar to what goes on in FIBA now, what goes on in EuroLeague now, and also comparing it to soccer in Europe. You have lower leagues and country leagues where teams get a chance to jump up to the major league, and then based on records, they either stay there or or they get dropped back. Next.
I got you.
Yep. And of course, key hurdle will be NBA's ongoing discussions with EuroLeague leadership over the stakes and control of the proposed NBA Europe League. In other words, they're not trying to take NBA EuroLeague out. Okay. If anything, they still want to work this as a partnership. And you definitely want to have a partnership with cats that already know the landscape of what's going on in European basketball.
6.
Oh, and the 12 teams 12 cities that are the main focus: Rome, Paris, Barcelona, London, and Athens. And it's interesting that I said Athens. Go to the Athens one slide. Okay. AEK Athens were one of the EuroLeague teams that put in a bid to actually they were one of the teams that put in a bid for the open slot. Okay. They already compete in the Greek league with the two other Greek league teams that are already a part of EuroLeague. All right, you don't have to go to the next slide.
Okay. So let me just take that off the screen.
Yep.
So right now it looks like the NBA is set up to make a nice chunk of change. And like we also said, that this isn't stuff that has to get shared with the players. This isn't revenue that has to be shared amongst the players. This is all owner revenue. So when it gets shared, it's going to the 30 owners or the 32 owners, depending on the time frame of the Seattle and the Las Vegas team coming into play. Go ahead, Josh. Like you chomping at the bit. What you got?
No, I love it. So let's do this. I know we talking about the NBA. I know it's the NBA show. C Perry, I watch you. CP Midnight Ride. I watch y'all every week. You feel me? So last week y'all was talking about college basketball, and I feel like this can fluctuate in college basketball. Let's look at a team that's in the Final Four. Let's look at Illinois. I call them a foreign team of foreign teams. They got stories. Yep. They got a lot of. This could help them. This could help the college game as well. You feel me? With the NBA Europe. I love the idea. Let's get basketball everywhere. Let's get it everywhere. And once we get it everywhere, we can develop the game and make the game even better. One thing that I wish I had where other people have, like you got specific coaches that can work with you on this, work with you on that, work with you on whatever you need to work with. I feel like NBA Europe, I'm not necessarily saying it could be specifically that, but it's another development league to the NBA. Just like college basketball is another development league to the NBA. Let's develop the players. Let's get the players right. Let's get them where we need to get them at. And one thing about European players, they focus more on the fundamentals than what we focus on here in America. So we know, like, for example, Peja Stojakovic's son. We know he's going to know he's going to know the fundamentals of the game. Just because his father played in the NBA, but let alone he's from Europe. He's from Europe, where you got Victor Wembanyama in the NBA now. You got Nikola Jokic. The 5 best players in the NBA right now are all European players. They're not Americans. You got Victor Wembanyama. Well, let me do it in that order. Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Luka Doncic. All 5 of those players, they're the 5 best players in the league. They're not from America.
I feel you. Now I feel you, Josh. Okay. The only part that I got to push back on is using NBA Europe as a developmental league. EuroLeague is not a developmental league. EuroLeague is a long-standing, full-fledged pro game. Okay. And that's how NBA EuroLeague should be. as a full-fledged standalone, pro game. Also giving, as you said, not just as teaching, but giving those players other opportunities and other venues to go and apply their craft. And then when the slots open up for them in the NBA to roll back, to roll back over. Right now, to me, it's just about keeping it under that NBA umbrella and knowing the landscape of Europe and taking advantage of it without doing damage to it. Because NBA, the way they're talking about setting up NBA Europe, it will not be doing any damage to the European market. It will be, it will be really. Playing sounds like another step up from EuroLeague, and EuroLeague is EuroLeague is that step towards the NBA.
KG, you've been quiet on me, man. Talk to me, KG.
Now the old man in me is like, why would you go?
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Go ahead, KJ. I knew it was coming.
That's the old man in me is like, why would you go over there and mess with EuroLeague for anything? But now me being a little bit more progressive and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, this is a good opportunity. And then not only that, you can generate more revenue because you have the champion of the EuroLeague, the NBA Europe, whatever you want to call it. You have that champion face the NBA champion, and then that determines your world champion.
KG, they're not going to do that.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But however, a good exhibition game between the NBA champion and the EuroLeague champion is a moneymaker.
Yeah.
That's a good way to kick off the season.
Yeah. KG, I love you, bro. There we go. To start the next season, it's a preseason. Got the NBA champion versus the EuroLeague champion. But see, Perry, let me kick back. Let me push this back to you. I'm not saying that NBA Europe is not a development league, but you know this. Like, I'm gonna use a sport that you like. You like wrestling, right? When Vince McMahon came in and took over territories, bro, he was taking it over for the WWF. He wasn't trying to monopolize other territories. He was trying to monopolize it for him. What I'm saying is that with the NBA or college basketball, when you realize that you got a great European over here, you don't think the NBA scouts gonna be like, oh, okay, Duke, North Carolina, UConn, etc. Whatever college you want, Kentucky, Arkansas, whatever. Oh, we got I'm just making up a name, Massachusetts over here. He can do everything. Yeah, we're gonna take him. We're gonna
what's his first name? Brooklyn?
Long Island, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Hey, time out. All joking aside, you know this. Like Illinois. I keep going back to Illinois. They don't just have Stojakovic. They got like 3 or 4 non-American players on their team. Sir, they're in the Final Four. So what I'm saying is NBA Europe, when you watch that, it's just like the UFL. Brandon Aubrey was in the UFL. He on the Dallas Cowboys now. Why is that? Because they saw that he can make 60-yard field goals. So the NBA is going to monopolize NBA Europe. That's just how it is, and that's fine. For example, let me say this. I know KG. I'm not KG. I'm sorry. I'm looking at KG. I'm sorry. I know the boss man. If ESPN came to the boss man and be like, yeah, we'll buy Sideline Junkie Podcast Network for $1 million, guess where y'all going to be at next week? On ESPN. You're not going to be on YouTube. You're going to be on ESPN because the man's trying to monopolize what he's trying to do. That's all I'm saying about the NBA. They're going to monopolize NBA Europe and take the best players and make them their players, whether it's college basketball or the NBA.
I think the only difference is, because there's going to be this fine line. Actually, I'll give KG this pop. It'll be a thin line between love and hate with how they handle this situation. Because you gotta watch out for keeping the amateurs and the pros. So that's the line that you want to walk in a certain way, because I know you about to say, so the European kids that play at Illinois and all those places, I don't think the question is going to be, and this is where we get into sticky stuff, where what's their eligibility, what's their player status going to be playing in NBA Europe?
Man,
As
here you go.
opposed,
I feel that. I feel that. However, okay, the NBA once again going into that market cannot be poison to that market.
I got you. Never
The
trust a big
NBA
business
always
mind.
been poison to that market. Let me talk about. Let me say this. Y'all all OGs. I'm the youngest guy on the set. Let me take my glasses off when I say this, okay?
Uh-huh.
The NBA marketed a black man versus a white man. Larry Bird and Magic, they marketed race. So are you telling me they're not gonna market anything else? Come on, man, y'all. Let me say this. I love y'all. Y'all better than this, and y'all know that. Y'all know that.
Now we're just asking questions. That's what we do here.
Mhm.
We ask questions to get to the point, because now we want everybody to think about it. We're not. If I answer it for you, what's it do you? But if I put it in your mind,
you're right.
I'll make you think about it. Now you might go in and be like, "Oh, so what is this?"
You're right.
Why isn't they going for that?
Exactly. Because this is a move that the NBA cannot be weak in the knees on.
Right. There we go.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm saying sports leagues have marketed race. Mm-hmm. So that tells me like they will do whatever it takes to get a dollar. I'm saying the NBA, they're going to do whatever it takes to get the dollar.
All right. So let's do this because we got to transition off of this. Over time, but let's go ahead and because I'm curious about where you want to go with this.
Yeah, man, bruh, just hit me off. Hit me off. Well, I know you laughing, KG. I know you laughing.
So handicapping MVP race. I think the interesting piece becomes the fact that we have the 65 game rule, and now everybody's crying about this 65 game rule. When at first, that's what they wanted because they wanted to make people play. Now it's like, well, if he plays 64 games, why can't he be in this race? Why can't he be in this thing?
Or based on the injury, there should be, there should be an exception. I'll say this for that. Let's save that discussion for another. Well, let's save that discussion for the rules committee. Okay. As it relates to this 3-dog race.
Okay.
To me, it's still Shay's to lose. It's still Shay's to lose. And if he's going to lose it, it's going to lose. I'll be honest with you. He's going to lose it. I'll say this. I feel he's going to lose it to Wemby. If they finish tied for the top slot in the West, tie goes to Wemby. All right. The tie goes to Wemby. Luka's going to be on the outside looking in.
Go ahead, Josh, because I know where your one is, but I just want you to go ahead and say it.
My one is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I agree with the man who founded this show. Whoever is the number one seed in the West will be the NBA MVP. And I think as of right now, let me say this. I hope and pray the Lakers could beat the Thunder the next 2 times they play them. That would be amazing because that means the Spurs will have the same record as the Thunder. And then I can give you a different answer. But right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he is the MVP. I think Nikola Jokic is the best player, but he's the second best player in the NBA. I give it to SGA. He's my MVP right now.
I give you credit for that because you've been saying that the whole time. You've been saying that for the last couple months we've been doing shows. Whoever's the one seed in the West is the MVP. KG, who you got? Bob McAdoo?
Nah. Two things. I quote what Perry said with the weak in the knees. Shout out to Steve Arrington and the hit me off. Shout out to New Edition. I quote both of those. I just want to let you know I quote those. But I SGA winning this MVP. Number one, the kid is talented. Granted, he's good for what he does, but he's a foul merchant, and they're so biased towards him. This dude, you get in his zip code and it's automatically a foul. I can't stand that. If he wins MVP, what the youngin say? The game's cooked, chat.
I've never heard that
MVP
one.
is all about winning. And I got to eat crow about Wemby because I was like, his.
All right, we lost him.
So
there
go
you
ahead
go.
and let me get my crow with hot sauce because Wemby is your MVP. Just going to put it out there.
Wemby. You think Wemby the MVP? KG, if you don't mind me asking, elaborate on why Victor Wembanyama is the MVP.
No, he will not. He will no, KG, you will not. We're not feeding Josh this one. I know.
No, I'm not feeding you. Not feeding me nothing. I'm just asking.
Whoa! What am I missing here?
No, so Wemby, he's a Spurs fan. Wemby's one of his favorite players. So,
AC Per, I'm gonna let you know. Victor Wembanyama, number one in your programs, number one in your heart. That's what he is. Because let me tell you that. I'm gonna say it on your show. Because I said it on my show. I've said it on every other show I've been on. If Victor Wembanyama does not have a catastrophic injury, he will be the best basketball player you ever seen. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Dr. J, shout out to Lee Ice. Let me say it one more time. Dr. J, shout out to Lee Ice. You feel me? Whoever you want to mention, they don't change the game the way Victor Wembanyama changed.
I agree totally.
Wembanyama should have his own stat. You know what it should be? Shots that you make motherfuckers not take. That's not a stat. That's a stat that he should have out there. Shots that motherfuckers like, oh, wait a minute. Wait. Let me tell you something. They listening to Meek Mill. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all thought not? No. Wemby right here. Hold up. Wait a minute. Because that guy right there. Victor Wembanyama. Let me say this about this. Victor Wembanyama. That's my dog. And I'm real. Like I'm not just biased. Unlike some of my friends that think I'm just Victor Wembanyama, all this and all that. I tell the truth. SGA is the MVP. But guess what? If the Spurs win the championship this year, they're gonna win 3 in a row. Because they ain't even tap into what they need to tap into. They ain't trade for Kevin Durant, a Giannis Antetokounmpo. They ain't trade for nobody like that. If they win the championship this year, Kobe and Shaq move over. The Spurs gonna win 3 in a row.
All right. With that being said, fellas, give me the last. Go ahead.
I just want to say this real quick. Wembanyama is what if it wasn't for injuries, he's what Ralph Sampson would have been.
Okay, maybe.
Think I'm lying?
We'll give you that. I'll give you that as a possible. That's like I got the Queen of Diamonds in my hand, and I got some other ones. She might walk, she might get cut. So I ain't too sure on that one. But real quick before we get out of here,
if you see me throw a 5 of clubs, you know what to do.
Yo, so real quick, anything else on the basketball landscape before we get out that we didn't talk about? Anything that's like breaking news or anything like that?
Right now I don't see anything breaking. Down here on Tobacco Road, once again, just keep an eye on what's next. What's next on the on the Carolina landscape.
How do you see this show and they ain't gotta go to the bathroom?
Really? Bruh, we only been up here look, if we was up here for hours of change, then maybe. I only had one drink. Okay? I only had one drink. Now, I mean, if we were doing an hour, 2-hour show, yeah, I might have to sneak out for a bathroom break. However, look, man, I just had one bourbon, so I mean, I'm good for right now.
Y'all supermen. I'm gonna just say that. Y'all supermen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you forget to mute your mic?
I don't want to answer that question, but
Lord.
the answer is yes.
Yo, man, I'm gonna do the read, okay? I'm gonna do the read. Look, ladies and gentlemen, look, you can always catch Nothing But Net Wednesdays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook Live, and X. Remember, the audio version of Nothing But Net is available on Thursday. That's the day after show, which means the day after Wednesday, which you can catch on all of your favorite podcasting platforms like iHeartRadio, like Spotify, like Amazon Music, just to name a few. Make sure you're following the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network on all of their podcast, no, sorry, on all of their social media platforms. Man, look, uh, technical difficulties notwithstanding, this was fun. This was fun. This was fun. All right, we got to do this again, just like this. We got to do this again. You know, look. You know, we got the two old heads. Okay, you know, we got, we got the young OG. Okay, and we got Mister Get the hell off my lawn up in his piece.
Go ahead and take us home.
Yo, today was fun. Gentlemen, please stay on after the show is over with, just so that we can just so we can discuss some stuff that might be recorded, might not be recorded, might be shared later on to the general public, whatever. But as always, until next week, you know how we do. Fall back, baby. Swish. Catch y'all next week.